The Ingram-Moore family is back in the headlines once again, and this time perhaps unfairly, but you can be the best judge of that when I link you to the article in the description below and you can read it for yourself. And the reason that I say that is because the headline might lead you to a conclusion that may not ultimately be what you would think having read the full article, which is why you need to read the full article for these things and not just the headline. Incidentally, that's why X, formerly Twitter, now asks you whether you want to read the article before reposting it. So the headline that I'm talking about reads, "More cash woes. Captain Tom's son-in-law's property firms go bust, owing a staggering £3.7 million to the taxman and dozens of small businesses." Now, whilst this appears to be true, having looked at the documents filed at Companies House, it makes it sound, with all respect to the Sun, who are eager to report on things like this, it makes it sound like this was a recent event and that it's come about amid all of the other reasons that they've hit the headlines, which is not really true. And the Sun does make clear when you read the full article that this actually happened quite some time ago, which is why you might find, or you may not find, that it's an unfair article or headline. But anyway, that's not my place to judge. That's yours as the reader, and the Sun are perfectly entitled to grab the headline attentions as they so choose. Now, the article does go into some great detail, so I will link to the Sun's writing about that in the description below. And the article talks about the final reports from the liquidators for the firm Burbank Limited, of which Colin was one of the owners, that was liquidated in 2009 and finally dissolved in 2013. So some 10 years ago, so this was not a recent thing. However, the final report did say that the company owed almost £250,000 to HMRC, £874,000 to trade creditors, and reportedly £1.4 million in related company loans, bringing this to a total of £2.9 million, and none of the creditors reportedly got any money from this liquidation. Now, one thing that a lot of people might take issue with, which I have my personal views about, which I will put in my sister channel, Black Belt Secrets, linked in the description below, so do head over there and subscribe there and I'll give you my personal thoughts on that thing. But according to the reports, there were dozens of trade creditors that included small businesses, individuals, councils, BT and utility companies. And so from a legal standpoint, this being one of two companies that were liquidated, many people might draw conclusions based upon the reportings of this in that there was some kind of wrongdoing. Now, I must assure you from a legal standpoint that in all of the liquidation process, there are independent people put in place to go through the company finances, to take care of the whole process, to ensure that everything is done properly and fairly. Although there are some reasons that some of you may still continue to feel that that was unfair, which I will reveal in my video upcoming on Black Belt Secrets, again, which I'll link in the description below. But ultimately, a limited company is a separate legal entity from the individuals that own it and the individuals that run it. Essentially, a company is a person, a separate legal person, a person in corporate, which will be a familiar term for those that are interested in common law. Watch the comment section go crazy on this one, because the individual person and the corporate person are two separate legal identities. They are separate in their legal liability and separate in their financial liability. Hence the term limited liability company or limited liability partnership, which is why I would recommend, if anyone is going into a business of sorts, whether that be as a single person or with other people, I would always recommend that they do this on a limited company basis. That's because the liability is going to be limited to the members of that company. And bar any wrongdoing and fraudulence and piercing of the corporate veil, which I'll discuss in other videos, the individuals are not going to be liable any more than they are liable for what they own or what they've invested into that company. And so I just thought this video was worth doing because these headlines probably will grab your attention because this family has been in the news so much. But I just thought it was worth doing this video because these liquidations were many years ago. And of course, they had nothing to do with the recent charity fundraising. So I thought you might find that interesting. Please do bop the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.